I switched mics. I heard maybe there is no audio, so apologies. Assume the call's been brilliant so far. Brown regroups on the far side, centering pass to Kanan, back to Homstall. That gets dumped out. Jeffers breaks, tries to slow that one down on the boards. He does chip that back in. Homstall and Kanan on it. They kind of both hold up. Ends up back to Jeffers. Jeffers flips in and off the pipe. Goal number 3 within inches for Jeffers, and it just misses. Jeffers calls back in. Brown now up off the right side. He flips one in on the doorstep again. That goes wide to the right. Plays on it again. Now Wilson on the doorstep. He chops one in. That is another save. Up top, Wilson regroups. Has a little room. Flips one in and a glove save to settle things down. And can you check and see? Ann, can you ask again? I switched mics. I don't know what else to do. Doing a sound check. I'm not sure if this is working or not, but we'll have to figure it out, and we'll keep trying. Everything looks green from my end. So centering pass there by Uchel, played off as Hasselfeld tried to hold it. Prentice chops it, holding on the blue line, and it does dance along the blue line, but finally just out to neutral ice, and they get played out as Nicollet over to Hasselfeld. Hasselfeld gets taken off his skates at the blue line. Okay, sounds like we're back to audio. What you've missed so far, if you're listening and can't see it, is a first period 2-goal performance by Ari Jeffers. I think Kanan and Uchel on those assists. Maple Grove's regrouping at neutral ice. 4:45 left here in the first. Now Prentice looking for a breakout. Ends up right on the stick of Maple Grove, who has possession. Little steal out top, working their way in. They do dump it. Nicollet there to play it up against the boards, able to pin his man. Hasselfeld there to help out. Kurth involved. And Nicollet skating away with it. Getting a lot of body pressure there on a back check. Slows that down. And Meade picks the pocket. Has a little room up top. Skating his way through. Flips that in and scores! Meade with all-out effort finds a loose puck out at neutral ice. Skates through 2 defenders. Comes across the left side and slides one in the left side of the goal, and Meade scores with at the 10:52 mark here of the first. 4:08 remaining, 3-goal lead for the Trojans. All right, sorry. Had to enter the score. Clavin now in, or still in, I should say. That comes up top. He wins the draw. Wilson chips one in behind the net. 3:45 left here in this opening period. And Maple Grove with the puck, skating through neutral ice. Wilson takes on heavy contact, but shuts down the charging forward. And a flip out to LaRose. LaRose chips it forward. Maple Grove on it, however, just into their own zone. They're going to work one up the near side. And Clavin holds the zone, but just across the blue line. Maple Grove excited about offsides. Take your wins or you get them. Now Maple Grove controls through neutral ice. Puck on the doorstep. Buell with a lot of pressure and covers it. Lot of pressure out front. Buell scrambles and covers the puck. There's 3:08 left here in the first. Keenan, Brown, Homstall, your forwards, Prentice, and Nicollet at D. That one was heading wide left, but Buell snagged it here, and we'll regroup and take another draw at this one. 3:03 left in the first, a 3-goal period here. Goals by 2 by Jeffers and one by Meade here. As good work, good start so far. Canaan trying to work that off the blue line, held by Maple Grove, carried back into the corner. Nicollet plays that forward up into the boards, and Prentice there to try to clean it up. Brown now has it. Brown, nice little saucer over to Homstall, hits him on the tape. Right back to Canaan. Canaan with room, looking for backhand and scores! Canaan from Homstall. That all started. So Brown to Homstall to Canaan. Little saucer pass from the D zone. Homstall skates that through neutral ice, puts it on the tape of Canaan breaking down the center, and a nice little move to his backhand as Canaan scores the 4-goal first. Canaan, Homstall, and Brown remain. Jeffers and Wilson on D. Now Maple Grove with a little life here, punching it in, back behind the zone. Centering pass up front, and Buell covers. Brown's going to grab a penalty here, 2:20 left, so much of the remainder of the first here. I don't know what they got him for, but a roughing or something. Cross check. Power play here for Osseo. Nice little centering pass up. Has Canaan in stride again. Canaan trying to skate through three guys. Nicely done part of the way there, but runs out of real estate as they play that off. But it kills some time. 1:44 left here in the first. And now Homstall at it again, but that ends up back onto the stick of Osseo as they skate through neutral ice. Jeffers will retreat. Flips one out, looking for somebody up the near boards, but Maple Grove's the first one on it. Someone's got to check up a couple guys on or near the crease. A lot of room up front, and a deflected puck off the skate of Jeffers. And now Homstall with room works his way up. Picked up and just overskates the blue line there and offsides with 1:15 left in the penalty, 1:34 left in the first. Hasselfelt and Kurth, along with Jeffers and Nicollet and Prentice in to try to kill the remainder here as they get a shift towards the end. And now Maple Grove has speed and space. Hasselfelt in, gets tied up, and a hold. So they're going to have a two-man advantage for the remainder of this, well, for a minute, and then they'll have a minute remaining. Much of a minute remaining left into the second. So hold there as they were breaking away. Here comes Meade. So now we got Meade, Prentice, and Nicollet. Maple Grove holds the blue line here. Meade pesters and then regroups and packs it in a little bit. That off the side of the net as Buell's on it. Nicollet there to try to scoot it out. Meade breaks out just a little bit, all the way across ice here. They play that in and save up around the top there, and that ends up off the stanchion and stays close. Centering pass, putting some pressure on here. 30 seconds left in the initial power play. And glove save by Buell. 21 seconds left in the power play, 40 seconds left in the period. Fresh set of skaters coming in for Osseo Maple Grove. Wilson and Jeffers now in to help out Meade as we try to break this penalty. One-timer across. Nice little chance at it. Doesn't get all of it. Ends up back behind the net. 4 seconds left here. Looking for a fresh skater. And the Rose comes in. Brown's out of the penalty box. Meade chips it forward, and Meade has a skate off for it. Cut back on a heavy back check by Maple Grove to turn that around. A little opportunity for Meade in 48 seconds left in the power play. Zone held up top. Not for long, however. And LaRose picks that off. So that's the end of the first. 4-goal scoring spurt by Wayzata as we enter the second. 41 seconds will be on the clock for the power play as we enter period number 2. It's good to see you, buddy. It's been a few years. So is it, you played in 6th and 7th grade? Is that what you meant? Football? Was it 6th grade? Okay. That's what we were talking about. So that was awesome. For sure. Send me your stuff. Is that your choice or still working through it, the final? Okay. Yeah. Remind me, and then I think there's like some simple things like I need your email address and phone number and stuff like that. But it's pretty simple, but we'll figure it out. Awesome. Absolutely. Yep. All right, fresh 15 on the clock. Buell skating to the left side of the rink here. A remaining 41 seconds left in the power play. Meade pushes that one forward. Maple Grove regroups in their own zone to break it out. He is with LaRose and Nicollet right now. Meade in there to battle, and Maple Grove skirts out with it. Has a little bit of space. Not for long, though, as Nicollet on it. And Meade chips it out, and they regroup again. Get it just into zone, and Nicollet lays a nice check on the near boards and scoots it forward. And LaRose tries to get it out. That zone is held. Now off the left side, a little bit of room in practice. And a nice little pass across. And Maple Grove scores early here in the second. So 1-4, or 4-1, excuse me. 9 seconds remain. That'll wipe, not 9 seconds remain. That'll wipe off of the remaining 9 seconds of the power play as Maple Grove strikes on a really nice pass right to left as they broke into zone. Fresh skaters in now as Kanan will take this draw with Hasselfelt and Brown. Jeffers and Wilson are back on D. Wilson is going to skate this in himself. Gets hung up a little bit on the blue line. Kanan's there to help him try to hold. Brown is backing him up on D, and Kanan works his way in. Tries to scoot it through. Homstall in on the crease. Flipped back in, deflected as Wilson put one on net and a save by Maple Grove, and now they come up the left side. Jeffers then plays that skater, the forward into the boards there as Kanan gets it. And Wilson skates away with it. Wilson looking for Brown, breaking through. Brown does find his way in on it. Broken up nicely there on the back check for Maple Grove. And that hits the net and holds off the icing. 13:35 left here. And that ends up on the stick of Homstall. And a nice save there as he went 5-hole and closed the 5-hole. And a beautiful save by Maple Grove. That puck will come all the way back, and that gets waved off as Nicollet chases it down and plays it off the red line. Buell looking to play with his glove. Brown to Homstall. Homstall with some room. Going to lean one up the left side. He gets pinned off, but Kanan there to work with him. He chips that back. Now Homstall back with it again, trying to wedge it out of there. Prentice holds, and Kanan comes out with it. Oh, looking for Homstall on the doorstep, just out of his reach. That gets deflected over. Now Nicollet will play it on the near boards as Kurth backs him up. Backhand flipper and gloved. A couple of really nice saves for the Osseo goalie here early in the second as that one was flipped in and just off the pipe, snagged and saved. So we'll get a fresh draw here deep in our own zone with Hasselfelt, Kurth, and Altschul as your forwards. Nicollet and Prentice back on D. Maple Grove looking to break out on the far side. Altschul with a little pressure. Hasselfeld back checking, and Maple Grove now has space on the far side. A little wrister on the near side, doesn't get all of it. Nicollet closes things down. And now Wayzata tries to break it out. Kirk chips it into neutral ice, but played by Maple Grove. Right back to Prentice, and Prentice looking for some room and deflected and controlled, at least initially here, by Maple Grove as Nicollet gets pinned up against the boards. Hasselfeld plays it over to Kirk. Kirk looking for Altschul on the far side, just a little out of his reach, but will play that back in their own zone. Now looking to break out into neutral ice. Chip forward, and now we've got a couple of skaters as Nicollet breaks on that, and that deflected goes wide, saved by Buell. Here comes Hasselfeld, looking for a little bit of space. He chips that in, gets punched down. Fresh skaters now coming in for the Trojans as Clavin, LaRose are in, and Meade will come in as Kurth skates off. Wilson and Jeffers will be your blue liners. (4-1) Trojans. Clavin in a little bit of a pushing battle there. Jeffers kind of turns one over at the blue line, ends up back in there, pays off with it, gets a little bit of a little body on that. That shot from the blue line of Maple Grove goes wide left as Wilson gets a good hit and played off by the Maple Grove skater. Jeffers flips it back. Nice little play as Wilson has it, working his way through. Finds LaRose at the blue line. LaRose on the far side, flips one in. Glove save, covered. Had his glove on it, dropped it, and covered it. And we'll have a deep zone draw here with 10:53 left in the second. Trojans lead 4-1. Clavin wins it to LaRose, up top to Jeffers, and another one in, near on net. Looking for a Hattie is Jeffers. Maple Grove there to chip one forward. Does find its way into the neutral zone. Turned and fired back in by Wilson. But just out of reach or just actually offside. So we'll come back to center ice as he dumped that pretty deep here at the neutral zone. Clavin back on the dot, Meade and LaRose on either side. Meade finds that off the stick of Clavin, punches that into zone. Meade there to break on it, and the puck disappears. I guess it popped into the bench area. So we'll set this up again. 10:30 left here in the second. As Maple Grove has it, works their way through neutral ice, across the red line and across the blue line. Into zone and chips one in. Nicollet plays that back behind the net. Ooh. Clavin looking to cut that off, does, but kind of halts his own progress of his teammate there. Now Clavin back on it again, pins him out. Maple Grove trying to skate free with it. Clavin back on the puck, looking for a little help by Nicollet. Gets pulled off his skates. And Clavin with a little bit of room. Has Meade. Meade up the near side with speed, working his way past the skaters. Finally, a stick check chops it into the corner as Meade looks for a little help deep, and Maple Grove does turn that over. Looks to skate it out, and it does get on the stick at the blue line and across neutral ice. The Maple Grove skater dumps it back to his counterpart as Prentice does a nice job, as there was a little give-and-go opportunity stymied by Prentice. Prentice regroups. Going to try the far side. Hard pass there, looking for LaRose, who stops it, but turned back in by Ossio. 9 minutes and 10 seconds now remain as Maple Grove holds the blue line near side. Not for long, as Homstall has it. Homstall on a breakaway. And looks backhand. Can't quite get it turned. Hits the side of the net on that breakaway. He had the move. He had juked him out. Just couldn't quite turn it in time. Nice little move. Nice breakaway opportunity for the Trojans as Homstall works it back to Jeffers. Jeffers flips it in. Kanan had the deflection there. Just ends up going wide left as he is willing to scoot that in. Brown lays a little body in and goes down with him. Play the puck! Kanan dangles in on the crease. Couldn't do anything with it. Wilson up off the edge. And rightfully so, Maple Grove will draw the penalty at the blue line of a cheap shot on the defender, and Trojans will go up in the power play here with 8:04 left in the second. It's getting chippy, and they got to figure it out, and they have. So 8:04 left in the second. 2-minute power play for the Trojans. Up 4-1 here at about the midway point of the second period. Last minute instructions here for Homstall. I have no idea. Scott, why would it come out to middle ice? Because of where the penalty was? Oh, he's got a penalty shot. Okay. I thought we were taking a... Okay, so whatever happened there, Trojans get a penalty shot, and Kanan with the penalty. And scores! 8:04 as the Trojans pay dirt on the penalty as Kanan scores. 8:04 left, 5-1 Trojans. So we're still in a power play? Homstall carries it in. Works his way back around. Tries to regroup. Finds Prentice. Up top to Homstall. Deflected puck for Prentice. Exited out. Prentice plays it to Nicollet. Nicollet skates it through neutral ice. Play it off his own wall by himself, working back into the corner. Homstall battles back behind the net, skates it around. Holds the puck all the way across. Battles his way through, finally gets picked off, and that will be iced and come back. Kurth. So 30 seconds remain on the power play. Hasselfeld trying to work his way in. Does just across neutral ice. And Maple Grove will exit that out, and that'll be iced back. 26 seconds left in the power play. 6:29 left in the second. Plays it out, neutral ice, so zone breaks temporarily. LaRose has it to Clavin, to Meade. Finds Wilson. Wilson back on the red line, looking for a little bit of room. Centering pass in, has some skaters there, just nothing on it. Plays it up as Jeffers with a slapper whiffs, and Maple Grove comes right out of that penalty with the puck on their hand. Even strength now. Jeffers gets back with the back check to slow that down, as Maple Grove now one-timer blocked by Buell. Maple Grove really unhappy. Maple Grove parent really yelling at his own kid, as Wayzata did draw a penalty there, and retaliation penalty by the player who got hit, and I think that's a parent very upset. All right, Clavin and LaRose will be your forwards. Prentice and Mead in. And that skater will skate off. He is eliminated from play. That was at first I thought he was yelling at the refs. That was a dad yelling at his kid. And that must have been the kid that got kicked out. So. But he's like, we talk about, and then he said the F word in there, and I'm like, yeah. He must have thrown a punch. I didn't really see it all. He went back after, is that Wilson in? Oh, it must be a two. Must both be twos, because they're both sitting, because there's no, I think I'm actually not sure. All right, that was a bit of fray. I think we have unmarked 2-minute penalty here as both skaters are in. So that'll play off. Maple Grove saves one, dumped in, and that plays off the boards. And now 4-on-4 will skate here, I believe, for 2 minutes, and however long after that there is a whistle, or wait for a whistle. Centering pass out front, flipped in, and on the doorstep, this is, I think, wide right. Clavin now looks for a hard lead to Mead. Prentice plays it out. Clavin chips it forward into neutral ice. Clavin looking ahead. Mead now has it up the far side. Tries to chip one through. Clavin will get a rest. And caught us in a change as Maple Grove comes back. Up off the pipe and in the net. Deflected off Buell. I think a pad save off the pad, off the bar, and over the top. 4:31 left here in the first, and we continue. We are skating. No, we are skating even, just as both players are in. We were not 4-on-4. So fresh forwards in as Brown. I think Homstall, I'm not sure, Brown or Homstall, or Brown or Hasselfeld are filling in on defense. I guess based on this setup, it's Hasselfeld because it's Brown's O-line in. So let's see, Keenan. Brown on the near side boards, tries to chip it out. That gets flipped up and deflected, and it was well over the net. But the deflection went off the tip of his glove and almost trickled in, landed just short, and it was cleaned up, I believe, by Jeffers. Sort of feels like we are in the power play here as Jeffers exits another one. Brown now there to skate it out. Good little stick handler here on the edge. Dangles out at the blue line. Hasselfeld all hustle on the far side, but Maple Grove holds on to it. Boys got to find their way out as Kane in there to skate it. He has room, and he's got the ability to skate all the way through. Off the skate there as the breakout to Homstall was on. Now Brown plays it. Brown looking for Kanan, and that gets just past him, and Maple Grove maintains control. Brown can't handle that one, and Maple Grove holds. Jeffers plays the body. Hasselfeld now into the back corner. Tries to chip that forward. Nothing doing there. Maple Grove pinning the Trojans back. deep in zone here. Trying to find an exit. Hasselfeld breaks this up. Now might be a good time for an ice. Just get this thing out. As Kanan now on it. Really good shift here by Maple Grove. As finally Kanan is going to burst free. He gets played off the puck into the far corner. This will at least buy his line mates a chance to get a fresh set of skaters in. That gets played off the side of the net by Kurth. Kanan's still in, dangling back behind the net. Maple Grove takes over, tries to chip that forward. Prentice breaks on one. And Kurth back. Kurth looking for Kanan. Kanan dumps. We get fresh skaters all around as Altschul and Mead come back in. Mead flips one forward. Kurth looking for it, but just overskated a little bit. And now Maple Grove has it coming back the other direction. That gets flipped in. That goes wide left. 1:30 left. Pad save. Up off. Had his stick. Lots of net open there and couldn't quite get anything on it. Maple Grove regroups. Prentice, however, shuts that down. Altschul flips it forward. Kurth into this near corner. Plays off the stick. Nicollet there. Kurth back involved along with Mead. And now a 2-on-1 for Maple Grove. Flip that in and off. Another save by Buell as Buell remains white hot in net. Altschul has it at the red line. Can't turn it around. Maple Grove picks it up and saved by Buell. 52 seconds left. A really good Maple Grove shift there. Comes up empty, but the tide changed a little bit. Trojans have to find a way to exit their zone and get something going here with about a minute left here in the first or second. That does get popped out. Here comes a forecheck by LaRose. Flavin there to hold the blue line, dump that back in. There's a bunch of room on this side. Maple Grove's got some room and willing to skate it out. Tries to work his way out as Hasselfeld battles back into the corner. Plays it up. Has Clavin. Clavin flips one in. That one goes wide left. Had a screen there. I'm not sure it was ever heading on net and ends up going wide if it did get tipped. Now Maple Grove with a breakout. Has a centering pass into neutral ice. Back check by Clavin. Hasselfeld there to help. And Hasselfeld turns it around, skates it through neutral ice. Puts it on the stick of LaRose, but broken up by Maple Grove. Back to LaRose, and LaRose dumps it in, and that's the end of the second. Any idea why there was a penalty shot?
I think that one of our players covered the puck in the crease, but wasn't the goalie. That's why they gave the penalty shot.
Oh, and that was completely separate from the penalty?
From the roughing, yeah.
Okay.
The roughing was away from the puck. I don't know what happened.
I've never seen anything like that.
I haven't either. So I was trying to follow the whole thing. That's what he said.
That it was covered.
Somebody covered the puck that wasn't the goalie in the crease.
Oh, so, and is that an automatic?
I guess. They say it in the NHL. I've never seen it.
I've never seen it happen. All right, thanks.
That's what they say, yeah.
We did get a penalty shot opportunity and score by Jack Kanan. And what we believe happened was that a player, not the goalie for Maple Grove, covered the puck while we were playing. And then beyond that, there was a penalty unrelated up top, which is why we got the penalty shot. And we're still in the power play. And that was, I think, the fifth goal by Jack Kanan. So 5-1 here as we enter the third. 4-goal lead should feel comfortable, but the way that they ended that last with a lot of pressure, the Trojans may have their hands full here to close this one out. Absolutely brilliant performance by Mr. Buell in net. I don't know if we're unofficially or officially counting saves anywhere, but he's had plenty and some absolute beauties. Kanan, Brown, Homstall, forwards, Prentice, Nicollet on the blue line, and of course, Mr. Buell, as we just got done talking about, between the pipes. Kanan will take this at center ice. Maple Grove controls through neutral ice. Brown with a little bit of pressure on the far side, but Maple Grove carries that in. That goes, whips wide left, plays that off the boards. Brown can't handle a high, hot puck coming out to him, but has another chance at it as he plays that to the blue line. Maple Grove holds, dumps that in. Clavin has Homstall. Homstall chips that forward, has a race for it. Brown comes up, looking behind him, centering pass and scores! I think he caught 5-hole as he was coming, the goalie was coming from his left to right. Just opened up enough. Brown slid that through. So Homstall to Brown, and that is goal number 6 for the Trojans. All right, Brown controls again, comes into zone. He dumps that in, flips it around. Maple Grove, he races and kind of a tie there. Homstall comes in, he picks it up. Homstall looking for some space, has Wilson far side. Wilson skates it around. He comes in, he flips it in, had Homstall on the far doorstep, just either out ahead of him or he was dumping one on net. Homstall couldn't quite play it. And now Kanan working his way through. Maple Grove dumps. 13:43 left here as Jeffers plays one forward. Maple Grove holds the zone. Wilson now to play it out. He chops it forward. Homstall has it. Nice pass up just out of the reach of Kanan. I thought he had him just a little out of reach there as 13:25 remain on the clock. Altschul breaks that up. That'll waive the icing. Jeffers in a race back behind the net. Chops it forward into the corner. Kurth there to play. Bodies up. Maple Grove, however, comes out. Hasselfeld joins the trio as Jeffers creates a turnover. Has Hasselfeld dangling his way out. Has Altschul on the far side. Altschul dumps that in. Hasselfeld will race back behind to get it. Takes a big hit by Maple Grove and goes down. Nice play. Turns that around for Maple Grove. Now through neutral ice. Centering pass to Altschul. Picks that up, looking for Kurth. Kurth not ready on the far side, just out of his reach. And Clavin now with a little room. He's skating his way through neutral ice. Across the blue line. He comes in looking to pull the trigger. Rips one in. That gets up top. Altschul and Nicollet chapping forward. And goal for Nicollet. Nicollet from Altschul, I think. Or Clavin? Was it Clavin that got down there on that? So I think Nicollet from Clavin. Clavin, I think, crashed the net, put one on the goalie, gave up a little rebound and chopped in by Nicollet, and that is the 7th goal here for the Trojans. All right, LaRose now with a nice little lead pass up, skating it up the near side, just out of his reach. He eventually turns the corner, dumps that just wide back behind the net. Turned around there by Meade. Jeffers chops it in. Clavin gets just back on sides, holds up just enough, and has a little room up the center crease, trying to dangle his way in. Wilson, though, leaves it for Wilson. Wilson comes back in. I don't know if he left it for him or lost it there, but either way, Wilson had it. Clavin just misses one off the body, and Jeffers on it. Chips that back to Clavin, to Meade. Meade plays it up, back to Clavin. Clavin has LaRose near side, and that gets deflected up and off the glass back behind the goal. 11:24 left. Jeffers breaks, holds that blue line, ends up chipping it back into LaRose. LaRose has it up front, looking for Meade. That gets deflected wide. Off Wilson. Jeffers holds that blue line, but Maple Grove looks to exit. They do get this one out. Jeffers plays it over to Wilson. Wilson has Kanan. Kanan can't quite work his way through that initial defender, but Homstall comes in and holds it. Now Kanan back behind the net, plays it. Brown, Kanan, Homstall in, Jeffers and Wilson out on the blue line. Kanan and Homstall chopping away in the far corner. Willing to probably kill some time if that's what it needs. Maple Grove finally skates out back behind their own net. Oh, they're going to try the far side again. They chip that up. Brown holds up with his skate. Can't quite turn it back in as Kanan plays it forward to Homstall. Wilson breaks. He comes in. Gives him back to Homstall. Comes in. That dances along the top of the bar, I think, off the goalie. So good save there by Maple Grove as Wilson left it back for Homstall. Turn back around and backhander for Homstall, and that misses. Trojans control. Wilson to Brown, back to Wilson again. Wilson flips one in, deflected by Homstall, but actually stopped by the Maple Grove goalie, and that ends up just pass to Wilson. Buell will play that. Maple Grove will get a change that they need. Kanan toe drags one back, but shut down by Maple Grove. Buell will settle that one back behind the net. Nicollet to play it. Nicollet with some room. Cuts it up in the middle. Homstall to Kanan. That gets cut down as a couple of skaters go down. Plays it off the far wall. Smartly was Kurth. Homstall goes down, and Maple Grove now with at least 2-on-2 numbers coming back. Shot hard up off the back. Kanan plays it. Kick save there out of neutral ice there by the defender. Right to his line mate. Hasselfeld in a battle on the far side. He ends up down. Nicollet looking for some body on the far side. Now Prentice plays this out. Has Kurth. Kurth dumps that in. A little bouncing pass has room out. Jeffers plays that out of zone. Right in front of us, and they dump that in. Jeffers will retreat. Jeffers to Wilson. Wilson to Hasselfeld. Hasselfeld takes some pressure and goes down. Trojans turn, dump. Opschel will get a rest here as LaRose comes in. Hasselfeld looks to get out. Kurth hangs on. Kurth draws some good body pressure there as the Maple Grove player goes down and takes a shot to the back of the head. Wilson to Jeffers. Back to Kurth. Kurth back to Wilson. Wilson, deflected puck goes up, and Maple Grove turns that around. Meade now in. Meade holds that up on the far side, coming in for Kurth. Looking for LaRose across the blue line and just a little bit behind him as Maple Grove cuts in. Prentice plays it deep in his own zone. Has Clavin. A little hot for Clavin. I think he thought that was for somebody else. The deflected puck rattles up along the glass. 7 minutes and 2 seconds left in what sort of feels like a long game. Prentice plays this back again. Another one of those little sequences here where it feels where we might have skate out there and icing. 6:35 left. Oh, we are running time, I guess. We're up 6. So 6:30 of running time coming here for the Trojans. Kanan back in along with Homstall and Brown. Prentice and Nicollet are your defenders. Maple Grove controls and wins, and Buell covers. We'll take this draw just a bit over the 6-minute mark. Nice blue line hold there for Maple Grove. Nicollet chops one forward. Fresh skater coming in here as Altschul now on it. Brown ricochets one out. Maple Grove dumps it back in. Prentice now on it. Has Altschul up the far side. Altschul tries to play it. Kurth now in. Nicollet plays it back to Prentice. Prentice looking for Kurth. Kurth skates it back into zone. Tries Nicollet on the far side to Kanan. A lot of back and forth here. Nice little pass up as Altschul tries to chip it forward. Kanan was in some traffic, but Kurth's now there with him. Maple Grove works it up in the zone. Body there in by Wilson. Little tussle as Kanan skates his way out. Mead overskates just a bit as that pops over his stick, and he's working his way out. Now Wilson on the near side. Wilson to Hasselfeld. Hasselfeld takes one off the face mask. And Maple Grove now plays it back to Jeffers. Out across the blue line as Mead. A lot of back and forth here. 4:11 left. Wilson with the good defensive body pressure there. Centering pass scoots all the way through. Maple Grove patiently working their way around the top. They dump it in. Jeffers back on it. Now to Wilson. Wilson finds some good heavy contact on the far side. Now Mead will look to play it out. Does eventually chip it to the red line. Maple Grove tries to skate it out. It's Clavin. Flips one just into zone, and I think that's offsides. It'll be about 3:20 left as we drop this puck. Clavin, LaRose, and Mead are your forwards. Nicollet and Prentice out in front of Buell, and Mead skates away with it. With speed up the far side, working his way across, tries to jam one in near side. Didn't quite have the angle to cut all the way across the crease, but puts one in, and another save by the Maple Grove goalie. LaRose slap checking a few pucks away. Eventually, Maple Grove skater goes down. Prentice plays it to Nicollet, and Nicollet has room all the way up this near side. Skates it across, draws heavy contact in the middle, and here comes Homstall. Homstall turns it over deep. Brown could not quite hold on to the blue line there, and that'll come out 7-1 Trojans with what will end up being about 2 minutes and change left here in this one. Kane and Homstall, Brown, Wilson, and Jeffers. Jeffers working his way up. He's going to go in and dump it in. 1:50 left as Brown tries to slow the breakout down, but Maple Grove works their way through and has numbers. A little back check coming and a dangle through the legs as Jeffers shuts that down nicely. Kanan working his way out. Has some space. Up along the near side with speed. Dangles his way in. Finds the far corner. End to end for Jack Kanan with a minute and change left. Takes that one from behind his own net, skates it through neutral ice, dangles out in front of the goalie, and finds the back of the net for, I believe, his second goal. (8-1) Trojans as Kanan wins it to Brown, to Jeffers, to Wilson, looking for Kanan in neutral ice. Forecheck here for the Trojans, probably content to mostly kill time and stay on your skates. Jeffers goes ahead and dumps that. Willing to let some time click off the clock. Brown out, Kerf in. Kerf, turnover, flips that one in. Nice little save there by the defender from Maple Grove to slow that down. They'll work that into zone. Wilson draws a little contact at the blue line there, taking out the surging Maple Grove skater. Altschul then turns, backhands one in. Hasselfeld in, and that's 3-2-1. Good win for the Trojans off a really good Maple Grove team, and finds a way to pump 8 goals in and win by 7. Brilliant outing for Buell, as I don't know how many saves, but there were a lot. Just gives up one on a really nice play by Maple Grove. And that's it. We'll be back tomorrow, I think, with the friendly fire game against the other Wayzata